I think he did once. I think he has. So it's something in his roster that he can pull out, and it kind of plays with your Mars really well, right? The sustainability you have with the Rum buff plays really well with these tanky cores. Could be a good option for YG, Mike. If they want to, they could kind of play it safe, pick up a support first, wait for Omega to reveal more of their hand. They've got the back-to-back picks on Omega, so they're gonna have to reveal what lanes they want to run the Monkey King on first, anyway, and that will give YG the time to react, adjust accordingly. See the Pangolier taken by YG. Could be our pause 4 with Lion 5. I think that's the preferable way to run it. You could also still run a mid Pango for Young PH. Not something you see too often now, but that could be one way to handle the Lina. Just constantly wave clearing out from a mile away, maybe get lucky with a disarm, taking away the Fiery Soul as an aspect of harassment, and just being really durable with Shield Crash. So I don't mind if they flex the Pango mid. It is likely a support. There's also the off chance where you run Mars mid here for Young PH, which I'm trying to recall if he's done that. I don't think so. He might have done it in Pro Series 8. So it could also be one way to kind of deal with Lina, just maybe going for an early Bulwark, clearing out the wave with the shield and the spear could be one aspect as well. Omega, though, getting a lot of value from the Grimstroke pick here, Mike. Lina and Beastmaster, you've got double Laguna, double Roar coming out. Good control, good pacing. Lots of vision coming out from Omega with Hawks and the Monkey King jumping around. And it will be the Kunkka, as you called out earlier, Mike. So YG will pick the Young PH Kunkka. Again, something he's run a couple of times. And that should allow them to get a lot of durability. You have Pangolier up front, you have Mars in front. When the Rum buff goes on everyone, it's going to be hard to burst him down. You do have good damage, though, on Omega's side. So the Rum buff might not be enough to save, but it will stall out for some time. And we know YG, they play on the edge. Just a bit of a window in durability will allow them to get a lot more in these engagements.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, final banouts to come, of course, both teams. Well, one team looking for a pos 1, the other still looking for a support here. So Omega, I mean, they could still run a support Lina, support Monkey King if they really want. It is still very open. YG, of course, just need a pos 1. Let's see what they end up taking. Anything that stands out to you, John? Would you like to see anything in particular here for Yangon Galacticos?
There's nothing that really comes to mind. I think you're always going to have a bit of a rough time against Beastmaster. You're always going to have a way of piercing through any sort of spell immunity, and you're going to have a great time in lane with boars. Although, again, if it's a Pango 5, you do have some decent way of clearing out boards with a Swashbuckle, or even just a Shield Crash, so that's something YG can leverage. Omega to go into the Storm, so going for Lina support with a Grimstroke. Storm mid up against Kunkka, baiting out the Kunkka pick now. Kunkka versus Storm isn't too bad for a Kunkka, though.
No.
Like, you can still play the lane, you can clear it out well. So it feels a bit greedy from Omega going for this. I think the ideal is actually still running Grimstroke and Beastmaster as a dual lane. You could try to be aggressive with a Monkey King 1 with Grimstroke 5. Inkswell jump forward can land you some early kills. I think there's a bit more potential stacking slows with the Beastmaster. You know, the Boar slow out, the Stroke of Fate slow out. You can just play that way and be really aggressive on the offlane instead. The Lina Beastmaster just doesn't sound as good in terms of control. Like, you could try to go for the LSA, look for the stuns, but the slow setup might not be enough, especially if you're trying to catch Pango. If Swashbuckle is out, you're probably not going to land that stun.
Okay. Final pickup, YG. Still need that pos 1. Pretty hard laning stage for any pos 1, really. See what they've got in the bag here. I mean, you've got things like the Faceless Void, I guess, but they'll go the TA route. That's fair. That might do a decent job. I still think it's a very difficult laning stage, but you didn't have many better options. So how he'll take the TA kind of allows him to fight early on, or at least throughout the mid game as well. Kind of matching the power spike of the Beastmaster Storm. I think you are going to need a pos 1 that is willing to get involved and fight. And overall, both drafts look pretty solid. John, is there one that you deem superior over the other?
I think early on, Omega's going to have a really good time with her lanes. They will have to kind of deal with the Beastmaster lane here on YG side. I don't think the TA has a good time regardless. Normally on the pause 1 TA, you go for the meld, so you kind of hide in lane, try to get double melds off to zone out. But I think if you do that, you'll just get zoned out completely by the boars. And I think that is a massive risk for YG, so How's got his work cut in half for him. It's going to be a bit of a tough time. I think Omega is going to be able to hit their mid-game spikes quite nicely, run down, get some good push going with the Beastmaster. Even the Lina support can help you in that aspect, and just kind of close out the game. I do still feel like YG has kind of the better shot calling, so I think I'd favor YG, but not considering teams draft-wise, I think Omega does come out with a better one.
Okay, fair enough. We'll get into game number 2 very, very soon. I do kind of agree with you. I think the timing and pacing of Omega Esports' draft just seems way too quick here for YG, but of course, you've got to watch the laning stage, see how those pan out first, and then we'll move on from there. So we do get into game number 2. In the meantime, John, just got an update that apparently motivates in a best of 5 grand final right now.
Yeah.
And they're in the next series of the night, so that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. That is a bit of a bind for Motivated Trust. The Thai boys playing the finals elsewhere. So there might be a schedule overlap. They might have to... This is all conjecture at this point. There's the possibility they forfeit one game or might have to pass the entire series, as, you know, they're not going to be able to get the enemy team to wait that long. They've got time as well. They signed up for the schedule. They got the go-ahead for the schedule, so you have to respect the opposing team. It could put Motivated Trust in a bind. There could be... I mean, this could be a long game. You don't really have that ultra-long game stall-out that you tend to see with, say, Arc Warden. Arc Warden versus TB, for example. It's the classic late-game, never-end-the-game matchup. None of that here. So it shouldn't overrun on the series, and that might put Motivated Trust in a bind. We'll have to see. You never know. YG, Omega, they do feel very closely matched. That last game, Game 1 did last a bit longer than I think either side expected. So if they kind of play evenly, this could also drag on. Who knows?
Yeah, certainly so. Hopefully for us, John, we're not waiting too long. These teams to finish up their finals. We are going to have a quick smoke up here for YG. Should just be for the warding mission. I see this pretty much every game from at least one of the teams. I don't believe they're rushing for the mid lane though, so not going for those deep observer wards in that mid matchup, but rather just rotating all the way towards the top lane. They might find Hero here, who is on a bit of a warding run himself. Instead, maybe just going into the triangle now, Omega. They do have Van on watch, but he won't expect this from the backside. And here we go. Earth Spike is going to land Van. How do you get out of this one? It's going to be pretty tough. A nice stroke to fade out. A boundless strike to hold them back, and they actually don't have enough. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, good spell use coming out from Omega to cut off that gank. And that does kind of put them in a slight bind for Omega. Like, you have level 1 Boundless on Prince, not the ideal spell for the Monkey King. Normally you'd want either the Tree Dance or the Jingu, of course, to have that early laning presence. But I guess if you kind of just want to hold that lane, build up, you can just play it safe with the Boundless. Use that to secure some CS and some harassment. Delays the power spike at level 2, and they even managed to get the block away from their small cap. So an even bounty rune trade, a good start for Omega to kind of get their foot in this game. Well, let's see if they can get that good start we saw from game 1. Again, they had a really good time for the first 20 to 30 minutes. Just the late game that fell flat, and I think for Omega, they have to get that early game start if they want to reach that late game this time.
Yeah. We'll start with the bot lane, at least for now. Lun. He's going to run right into Zenki, so he's going to take a bit of damage on the way back to the lane. It is going to be Lun, and of course Skill lane against Zenki. And once again, Prince on the Monkey King. It's not an easy off lane here for YG. I mean, against the Monkey King, he is going to have the advantage. Of course, you have the spear back. If he does proc the Jingu, as we are going to have a quick pause up. But yeah, as I was saying, John, the off lane for YG not going to be the easiest.
No, it's that matchup, right? We always talk about it with Monkey King up against these tanky offlaners. Once you have the Jingu up, you just trade harass really well. Go for the Boundless to heal up once the Jingu's procced, and you have a good time. For YG, they do have a lot of stuns to play with. They can try to go for Earth Spike Spear combinations once that's up and running. I don't think Zenki will give them too many angles to get that done, though. And the Monkey King is still pretty mobile. Like, you hit level 3 or level 4, you get a value point from Tree Dance. Not going to be the easiest target to pin down. So, I think Omega should have a smooth time in getting Prince's farm up. And Lun has his work cut out for him. Still has to hold out until the levels build up, and can't really afford to get too much hits from the tower. Does pop quite a few, and it's going to hurt him early on. Zenki doing a good job of just standing at the side, spamming the Stroke of Fate, getting the slows off. And if the wave does clump up, it's always going to favor that Grimstroke in the harassment.
They are getting very aggressive here against Prince. So we'll have a quick look at the other lanes. Mid lane, Young PH going to be there against PLs. So it is currently favoring PLs again on the Storm. I think Young PH should still have a decent time in the Kunkka, but when we saw last game around, his Void Spirit is very dominant from Omega Esports. So even if the matchup is supposed to favor Young PH, it may go the other way as bot lane Lun. He does end up going down for first blood. Skill Lay is going to get stunned up. A nice fairy fire there from Zenki. And that'll be a double kill straight off the bat here for the Monkey King.
Big win for Omega in their safe lane, just building up on Prince. They hit that level 2. They get the Tree Dance. They've got the slow. They've got the damage now coming up on Omega YG. They've got to hold back. You know, they need to wait for level 2, likely level 3 when you feel more comfy now for the Mars, and just try to get what you can. You can't afford to keep bleeding out to a Monkey King. He will snowball off this kind of start.
All right, they're going to go again.
I take what I
They had the Grimstroke this time though, so Zenki is going to go down. Prince unable to help him out, and now Lun, he wants to continue this aggression with the spear out onto Prince. Another Earth Spike going to connect on the Monkey King, but well, they will at least get his courier. Now Prince still going to survive, just needs some regen on the way back here from his Grimstroke. Well, we have another chance. Top lane, Hao and Zorain against Hero and Van. The Beastmaster Lena lane does seem quite devastating here for the side of YG, but so far they are dealing with it the best they can as Hero now. He's going to get jumped. Zorain setting up a nice kill there for Hao, so apparently not hard enough for YG.
Yeah, that's a strange location to kind of try to juke around for Hero, walking up, getting body blocked instead of heading south. Maybe figuring he'd be cut off by Zalrain, so good surround from YG so far. We expected this lane to be a bit tougher for Hao. The kill does help balance that back, but he is lagging behind a bit in CS. This lane is under Van's control with a boar spam. Not much TA can really do early on to counteract it. You do at least have a little bit of refraction, so you can block some of the damage, but the slow will still be annoying. The DOT is still going to be annoying as well, and that will mean Hao will have to just focus on the CS. Zalrain already at level 3, so it's a good start for Pango 5. You just maybe want to build up some stacks for the TA once level 4 is up, when you can feel confident leaving the lane, and ensure the flash farm will come through here for Hao.
Dire's middle tower is under
The
attack.
Storm Spirit, I mean, he's just having a great time. PLs 20 and 9. No struggles at all against Young PH. He goes in again, just so aggressive. Young PH does have the XTP, but he just committed that earlier on to be able to get a reset going. Meanwhile, top lane, Hero again going to find himself in danger as Hao and Zorain just chasing forward. They won't be able to finish the job though. Salve will fly out from Hero. In the meantime though, Prince finds his third kill of the game as they do kill off Lun. And while Skill Lay, he is chasing down Zenki, but Salve is going to save Zenki's life as now Skill Lay really needs to run. He might still be able to get this or maybe not, even dropping a ward just to make sure he gets it. I mean, that ward, I guess it's still kind of useful. That is some desperation though to get that Grimstroke kill.
Are fortified.
Yeah, it really is. It's a bit of an overcommitment. I suppose you don't mind too much. You still find some punishment. A back and forth game already in the first 4 minutes. 8 kills on board, 4-4, very even across both sides. I think you can kind of argue that Omega does have the slight edge here, having a much stronger start on Prince. Just overwhelming. Level 5 already on the Monkey. Power Tread's already up. Orb Venom running. Just having a lot of slow on hand in this lane. Going to be very hard to zone out now for Lun. So you've got a good start going there. Even your mid has been lined up. Both Peels.
Yep, right back after Young PH. He's going to be able to find the pick off even against 2 heroes. Just this Storm does not care whatsoever. Peels just doing a fantastic job. Young PH going to find himself 2 levels behind Peels now. So Definitely a bit of a tough position for him as YG on the back foot already, 1k behind. The only real great thing going for YG at the moment is the safe lane where Hal is still doing a great job. Mind you, Van is keeping up quite nicely in terms of CS, so I can't even say it's an outright win here for YG in the safe lane. Just the couple kills that they found on Hero do make it feel that way.
Yeah, it's still important for How to find those kills, but the big issue is that Zalrain's forced to stay in the lane. He's not really able to get any stacks. They are starting to build up some now, but you need to secure that flash farm. Nice kill once more for Prince. That is kill number 5 for a Monkey in 6 minutes. Too much going out for Monkey King. He is going to be off to an overwhelming start, and your Mars is set for a pretty slow start himself. No phase boots up, no soul ring. Just trying to finish up those phase boots, which means your blink is going to be delayed. You might have to go through the Yules for self setup. Not what you want to see. And the fact that he's not even getting more EXP than his pause 4 is a worrying sign. So level 6 spike can be stalled out, and that just gives Omega a lot more angles to play with.
I mean, Prince has actually got more XP than the mid-conker. That's how badly the game's going for YG at the moment. That's problematic. That's your mid laner behind the safe lane of the enemy team. Lun, still at level 5. He's just so susceptible. They might just keep shutting him down. Piels is here. He's not a hard kill to get. Vortex is out. Primal Spring in with the silence and Inkswell. Well, they'll give the kill over this time to the Storm. I think Prince did want it for himself, but he's already had 5. He'll be alright.
Yeah, pass it on to Piels. Nice rotation out for Storm. Will allow our Storm to start building up even more as well. Inside Mega off to an overwhelming start, and Piels isn't even done. He's still hanging around.
Yeah, just might dive for skill, eh? He won't dive that far.
That's how it's done.
And on the bright side for YG, Hao is still in the jungle now and really escalating in terms of farm. And even with all those kills going the way of this Monkey King, Hao might actually overtake him very, very soon. There's no real problem here. You always can rely on the TAs. We are going to have another pause from YG.
Yeah.
Wonder what the issue is this time around.
I think the problem for YG, specifically for How, is that there are not many stacks. There was like one large camp stack in the jungle, not much in the triangle. That was spotted out by Piol, so they already cleared out most of it. And that means the instant advantage for How is it's not quite gonna be there. Still, it's a good sign that How is still within 100 gold of the Monkey King despite all the kills. So you still have a game to play here on the side of YG. The Dragonlance basically finished up, I think. It's flying in, so you're gonna have a little bit more presence, speeding up the farm just a bit faster. And there's no vision coming through from Omega to watch that. Still with the top lane free, Van, he's got the Dominator up. He can look for the push himself and just kind of start to take over that top jungle. He will need backup. Could try to force in by himself, but Zalrain is fairly tanky and can kind of clear out the creep wave in a fairly straight fashion, although.
Oh, top lane, Zalrain. The dropping here, Van able to just commit the roar. The Helm of the Dominator creep just takes the kill. No problems as he will go on to that tier 1 top tower. The thing is that they're always going to have access to just defend the bottom tier 1 here if you're Omega. It's kind of hard not to when you've got Prince this farmed up. And he's looking for more kills, it seems like. Lun being silenced up. In the meantime, they did at least kill off Hero on the opposite side of the map, but this Mars is going to have an even rougher time now as Lun. He's going to try to run, but it's a Monkey King you're against. Very hard to expect him to run away. And it'll be another kill there for Prince. Top lane in the meantime, Zalrain was being chased down by Van, but eventually he will give up on the chase. Mid lane though, they found Piols. Hex is going to make it in time, and it looks like they might at least have themselves a valuable kill, or maybe not. He will be able to get away thanks to the Inkswell of Zenki. They'll even get skill laid down. It's young PH, he's going to run. Unfortunately, empty-handed here for YG.
Yeah, it's a tough commitment from YG. They get punished for it. Omega just leveraging their movement quite nicely. It felt like they might have had the kill on Storm, but the save coming through from Zenki just in the nick of time. Let's turn that around, and Zenki will even be able to deny off the Arcane Rune while Storm's behind still.
Prince caught out. He's going to try and go for a run, and they can't actually finish off the kill, so Lun, he might die another time here as Piols will take another kill. And Prince just barely getting out with his life intact. I mean, he's got a lot of kills underneath his belt, but he still has to be cautious about that Arena Spear combo, especially if Hal's around on that TA. Can certainly help with the damage output, and well, Hal is top of the net worth board right now, believe it or not, so things still going swimmingly as Hero. The fourth time this game is going to get caught out, this time by Zore.
Yeah, managed to get a good kill onto the main support. Not the biggest target in the world. Prince can be in time for the defense. Zalrian has no mana. Should be a bit cautious playing there. Does have a salve to regen, but Prince goes in.
Yeah, he has gone in. It's Young BH. Boundless Strike going to be out. Young BH is going to be another death. However, down a bot lane, Piols ends up dropping a Howl. They try to get aggressive onto the TA, but Skill Lay was around to help. It's a bit of a trade across the map, and when you compare the Kunkka to say the Storm, I think you'd be kind of happy with that trade as YG.
Yeah, you'll take it. That's a pretty big streak to take out from the Storm. You kind of build up on how you're hitting your spikes and keeping up on your TA. So Desolator time is still looking good. Big issue is that Van is just rotating mid now, and he's got that Dominator, he's got the max level Boris. The push can come out quick.
Van, he's going to be fine. They did not get the torrent off. They won't be able to lock the Beastmaster down. Van should have a pretty decent timing for the Helm of the Overlord. And he isn't spending too much time farming now, but should still be able to secure it as Omega. To how they go, Inkswell's going to be there. Piols will have a very easy setup, but they do not have detection.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Lorraine's going to show up. He'll be able to swashbuckle and just rolling thunder. Hero unable to get the job done, and now YG's going to show up. We'll get another kill onto the laner as Piols going to zip back the other way. It should be just fine to make it out as he does have enough mana. In the meantime, I suppose Van is pushing in the mid-tier 1 tower, but isn't really going to be able to commit as YG is going to be there to defend.
Giving a lot of space out to Prince to keep this farm game going. Still in the lead in terms of net worth. Not by a huge margin, but enough to kind of at least have an early item advantage once the Maelstrom's up. So your Monkey King's working the top jungle quite nicely. YG's forced to respond with multiple heroes to save Hal. Just losing out a little bit more on that farm efficiency. And oh, Prince just goes in again.
Why not? Free kill. Just needs to land the Boundless Strike, and that'll be the 8th kill for Prince here. Of course, you got to keep in mind he's going to be careful not to throw the streak away later on. But he's getting a very quick Maelstrom timing with this Echo Saber. So it's still just going fantastic here for Omega, as now Zenki bot lane may get caught. It's the support kill, and he actually almost kills off Lun in the process. Just how tough of a game Lun's had in this Mars. Regardless, though, they do at least get Zenki down.
It's not the biggest kill. You are just trading supports at this point, but it's more important for YG. You know, they're playing the catch-up game, and they're trying to hit this blink timing in Lun because of that kill, because of him being AoE. It's going to be up relatively soon, despite that slow start. So you're going to have more impact on the Mars. We've got the Desolator as well on How. He's going to be able to get a lot of damage off. And they even have the armlet done on Young PH. So he's going to be more survivable up front, do much bigger hits with a Tidebringer as well. I think YG should be ready to play around that. Still a smoke out from Omega, 3-man smoke. Piols, Zenki, and Hero looking to make a play down bot. And if they find How, that could be big.
They might find it now. Zorain, he's not going to be around to break the smoke. Instead, Piols should be able to go for the jump in. Inkfall's there as well, and this time they will catch him before the meld. So no invis out from Hal, and that'll be a mega kill streak going to the way of Piols now in that Storm. A lot of gold. They'll just continue the momentum. I mean, the 3k advantage now. Van's just about to have the Helm of the Overlord up. And you're hitting a perfect timing here. Though Prince is going to get a little bit aggressive top lane. Lun is going to just melt. Prince, though, can you get out now? He may not be able to, and does end up going down. Zorain will take the streak on the Pango.
Yeah, that's a pretty big kill to give out from the side of Omega. That's a good gold swing coming back the side of YG, and they're going to be happy with that. Finally getting the 9 streak out from our Monkey King. Keeps them in the game. 15 to 10, 3k lead still stands for Omega. You are still 1k ahead on Prince's farm compared to Hao, but you are giving openings here. YG, again, with the Deso spike on Hao, this could be that Roshan could open up if they find some room to get some space on a map. They could also just start clearing out these stacks a lot faster. Ancient stack to be taken by Hao. He is under Zenki's vision. Just kind of watches as his bounty rune is snagged away, but they don't have the backup to punish the TA just yet.
YG gonna make a play here, just making sure Hao does remain protected as Zenki. He can slow it up. It should be a nice easy Grimstroke pick off, but the ult is around to try and help out, and now with the Laguna and the Soulbind, they both get blown up. Hao, he tried to come in and get something done, but there's really nothing he can do to help at this point. In terms of the farm game as well, Hao, he's just not farming fast enough. I mean, Prince is still top of the net worth board. And the Overlord is here, so Van, with his Ancient Black Dragon, should be able to just group up with the team now, and it's just very hard to imagine YG being able to stop them.
Yeah, it's a tough time to stall out the push from YG's end. They still have really good team fight coming through with Arena and Boat, but we haven't seen the full combination fly out yet. They have the blink on Lun, so they can blink Arena, set up for the Kunkka spells quite nicely, and maybe even get a couple of good rolls off. It's just that Omega aren't giving any big plump ups for them to play against that. So no openings for them to really get their power spike going in these engagements. Just gonna have to play the slow game, keep building up on Hao. Blink Dagger is gonna be up. That is the TA spike. Blink, Dezo, Power Treads, Dragonlance. The TA hits very strong. I think they need to take a team fight now for YG and go into Roshan with a numbers advantage.
Young PH within the safety of his jungle, but maybe too safe. You've still got Prince around, and we've seen Prince. He just drops the Wukongs, gets the Boundless, and somebody's going to die. He's going to show himself in the lane. Young PH going to go for the X-Pack, and immediate mass TPs coming into the top lane. Prince, can you find your way out? This is not how you want to play it. On we go. Just find more now.
Yeah.
How are they not grouping up, John? I don't understand it. You've got Helm of the Overlord, you're trying to farm BKB, I understand, but
I'm not sure. I'm really actually not sure. That is the numbers advantage YG needs. Sure, Young PH might get picked off, but he has opened up Roche. That's Roar, that's Laguna down, and Roshan's now completely free. Right, there are no threats of spells coming in. With the Desert up, how it's going to be clearing out this objective quick. The mid tier 2 will cop some damage, but they're still fortified to stall. Aegis up on Hao, and be very protected in front, and they can try to take this follow-up fight.
Rightio. Well, we're going to find another. TP away from Hero, not going to make it. And suddenly YG's back into the game. Hao, top of the net worth board, back into the triangle. Who else have we found? They are going to find the Pango, neutral. But Van is going to get caught. And yeah, neutral kill is there. Zorain is going to drop to the jungle, and Van... Yeah, you've got to ask yourself, is it worth going for the Pangolier when you know they're running at you? Ultra kill out for Hao.
Yeah, this TA hits its spikes. It rode through the slower laning phase. It got farm in the jungle. It died once, and now it's built up. BKB rush next for Hao. You will still have the roar through the BKB, so it's not the be-all, end-all for Hao to protect himself, but it'll still complicate the engagement for the side of Omega. YG close out the net worth lead down to just 2k. It wasn't too big anyway to begin with. Very playable still for YG. And Omega now have to they have to avoid making these mistakes. We've seen Omega go off to really strong starts and then just get maybe a bit too cocky or too confident in these engagements. It always costs them. It gives openings to the enemy teams. YG managed to find that opening with a kill on Prince first. And now, you know, they can start clumping around. Their TA's big, still has Aegis. They've got the Blink Arena. They've got the Armlet Kunkka, BKB up soon for Young PH as well. There's a lot of ways to play this, but the smoke is here from Omega.
Yeah, zip in. They've got the Pango. Stun is out. Skill lay. Raw as well onto the TA. Zorain. He's gone immediately as now Hal will be targeted. They should be able to get at least the first light. Though you do have Lun. Nice push away with the spear. That'll be the Wukong's gone. And now I don't know if they can really keep the fight up. Man, he's been trapped up and is probably going to drop. As they might be able to go for more now. And they will. Prince force the BKB up himself. That'll be about it though. Still another win for YG. A very forced team fight for Omega. And Piols, sir. Oh, he's gonna maybe find the line, but Go on, John, analyze the fight.
He was camping around, playing with a vision, and he figured he could outplay them, but underestimates the number advantage, gets punished for it. YG, they had to buy back in their Pango. It's still very worthwhile. They dragged the lead down to just less than 1k ahead for Omega. They've got Hao now number 1 with TA, and they're just going for more. Zenki now, down bot.
Yep. Nice go there for YG. BKB now up on Hal. Net worth lead has swung. Dota plus. I mean, you look at the graphs, John. Bit of a dip the way of YG. Omega not having the greatest time, and I mean, geez, 9-2-1 on Prince. Those 2 deaths were just so impactful. I mean, especially the last one.
Yeah, they built up a huge kill streak on Prince. He drops, and then, you know, the gold lead bounces back, and then he kind of just dies in the middle. They can't contest Roshan. They start playing pickoffs in YG's end. You are about to hit the major power spike for Hao. I mean, he's got the BKB, 9-second charge ready to go on TA. Again, you've got Roar on Omega to kind of deal with that, but you've got to see Van able to commit and kind of time it against that BKB. So Blink going to be important now for Beastmaster. Van just going to hold back and try to farm that up. Once you've got the Blink, you can maybe take control of that TA in these fights. But you do feel that YG have a nice spike back. They're very durable with the BKBs up. They've got the Varum buff there. They've got good area control in the arena in comparison to the Wukongs. It just locks them in a lot better. And they do a lot more damage with Hao. Like, Monkey King takes a bit longer to hit its major damage spike after the laning phase. Hao already has that spike.
YG. 5-man smoke up now. Omega. They have plenty of vision around this area. However, Hero immediately caught out on the support Lina. He's going to die to Hao. They can just go for more now. YG, they're going to keep holding this high ground in this dire jungle. Piols, Van just waiting for the right moment. Lun, he'll jump in. Orchid is there though to silence him up as now. They've got the Hex out in the Storm. They've got the X back as well, but he's going to be able to zip away. No dying quite yet for Piols. The Soulbind is out to boot. Zorain going to force the BKB out of Prince, and in the meantime, Piols is going to jump skill late, but the Hex is there again as Lun is going to get the arena into the spear. They'll take down the Storm. There goes your Lion, but who the hell cares? He's already done his job, and now Van will drop to boot.
Yeah. YG, again, just finding the angle, making it work. Omega, they managed to get a good roar. They couldn't follow up on it. And the engagement was just a bit too staggered. Sure, they forced the buyback on the Mars. YG doesn't mind. They know the game's all about how. They just want to enable how. They even get a free courier somehow. Lun just seeing that secret shop. So finding everything here in YG's hand. Omega, they're losing that lead. 3k lead now for YG, 22-23. So a 2-2-2-3 reverse 32-22, Mike. And YG now just take control of the triangle, keep building up. The Crystallis timing's coming up soon, and this TA is going to be a massive issue. They don't have disarms. They don't have the best control outside of Orchid Roar. So I think Hao, if he plays his cards right, he's just going to be unstoppable in the front line.
Step lively now. Your Admiral is on board.
Just grouped up YG. They must know they've got the advantage right now. Omega. They seem to know Prince is around this tree line. Prince. Bounce back off at the right moment.
Step lively now. Your Admiral is on board.
Meanwhile, Omega, they have grouped up. spear. Oh, just barely off the mark there. Prince is going to be able to get away. What's the game plan now for Omega? Like, you're still
Radiant are
in the
scanning.
game, but the way these fights have been playing out certainly doesn't seem very favorable.
No, I think you need to get double roar, so Zenki Soulbind has to be on point. Van needs a blink to be able to gap close and avoid the initial fight, although YMPH
Gets caught in the Wukongs. Maybe they can burst him down, but no, the spear's there again. Prince, he doesn't pop the BKB. Arena down. BKB's out now. Young PH, he does not care about the Jingu Mastery. He will just keep rushing Van. In the meantime, PLC is trying to go after this Lion. He will be able to get him. They've lost Young PH. He's gone too far. You've still got Hao around. And there goes Hero. Into Zenki they go. That'll be a Grimstroke gone to boot. Still not a bad team fight in the end, though. At least for Omega. A 2 for 3. They at least found the mid-conquer to boot, so I suppose you call that a win for Omega Esports.
Yeah, I'd say it's not too bad. They managed to force YG to kind of play back and forth there. They don't find the perfect angle to punish the Monkey King. They don't even kill off Van, as they kind of gave up in that chase. Focus a bit too split. Although Van now, saying that.
Yep. Can't win a team fight. Van. He'll drop. That'll even things out quite a bit better. Roshan's up at 25, so the timing's quite nice there for the kill onto Van here for YG. Omega, they're at least going to find this double damage room before YG do, so that's good news for them in this upcoming Roshan fight.
Yeah. It is as tradition states, though, Mike. Double damage right before Roche, not completely patched out of the game. So, Omega, I don't think they're in a position to go for Roshan themselves. Like, they've got the damage and the monkey, sure. Because Roche taking isn't that fast, and what?
Yeah, spear, not going to land. Prince, he's going to try and get himself out. Arena, not going to be there in time. So Prince, he does at least force out the arena usage, and it'll be enough. Roshan is officially up.
Excellent. Step lively. Your admiral is on board.
YG, do we want to group up, smoke up perhaps? Omega? No?
Well, YG's got the vision advantage. There are no Hawks watching Roshan for some reason, so they might not be quite sure that it's up early. YG does have the trap watching, taking their time. They've got the Crystallis up on Hao. They could just fight. I think Arena's going to be up in a timely manner anyway. For the team fight inside, you've got the boat to save. You kind of need to just stand outside and bail out the TA if she does get caught out. But they will play conservatively. Just take it slow. Maybe get some more build-up. Maybe clear out all the tier 3 neutrals first before any side engages. But Hao finds the haste and does just go straight. So not having the DD this time, but should be able to still get a good clear on a Roshan. And the side of Omega still somehow don't have vision there.
No, apparently not. Not with the Beastmaster on their team. So they're going to start a fight on the other side. Van going to commit the Roar. X is still there though, so Van is still kind of screwed as the arena now down. Zenki going to avoid the spear, but they've got the Beastmaster and Zenki's going nowhere anyway. Prince, is this the time to force the fight, sir? I don't know if it is. Wukong's command is there. They're going to try and at least burst down Lun. Heals, he's going to zip through to the backline onto the Lion, and we'll have enough damage for him. The buybacks are coming in from Zenki. In the meantime, Lun still alive, kills off Hero, and Prince now forced the BKB TP away. Is going to be able to make it out. Age is still intact for Hal, though.
Yeah. And,
I'm going to turn around. He wants to die back here on this Lion and isn't going to get it.
It's unfortunate for Piolz. That was a BKB charge, so it's down to 8 seconds. That was his fresh BKB on a line kill that doesn't come through. Unfortunate for Omega. YG getting everything they want there. Just going to be able to rip through the mid tier 2, top tier 2, mid tier 2 under pressure as well with creep wave from Young PH. And Omega Still playing on back foot. They could maybe jump one of these heroes if they are isolated. Young PH is a bit forward from the rest of his team, but you're not confident. Perhaps once the Beastmaster is back up with Roar, could feel a lot better here.
Light Strike Array, Boundless going to land onto Hal. Again, he still has the Aegis up, so no real fear for the TA. Eels, meanwhile, kind of getting in position, waiting for that line to open up as Young PH does get stunned up. They'll zip in with the Roar out, but Arena is down. They caught the Storm. They might lose their Kunkka, but they do get Piols in return. He can give it a buyback though, as now they even found the Monkey King. Hex is out, they use him up. In the backside, they have got Lund, but he's taking 0 damage right now from this Lina. And it's looking like a good team fight, at least for YG. But now the buyback is there from our Storm. Prince, he is forced to BKB TP, but no, the spear, it is going to land right in the nick of time. They found Zenki. Piols now is completely without mana, and is going to try and TP, but he is down. Might be, yeah, we might be approaching that time. Zorain. Well, he's going to drop. Hal, though, is still going to be able to clean up Van. I think that the slows are quite intense here from these balls. Now he's gone for it, and he should get it, and does. Very nice.
Great kills coming out from YG, and they trade 4 for 4 in the end, but they hold on to Aegis with Hao. 2 minutes still left running onto that somehow. And he has the full Daedalus up. So Hao's damage output's ridiculous. He's going for the Swift Blink next. And even with that sort of exchange, you have no answer for TA. You need a disarm here. You're going to need a Heaven's Halberd up somehow. That is being farmed up by Van, but it's still a long way off. And until then, I think Hao just has complete control in these engagements. He outdamages the Monkey right now. And they have all the control for the Storm. He also has to be on point with his BKB use. So I think he has to be preemptive with the BKB when he jumps in, just because you've got the line, you've got a Hex to worry about. And Hao will just get to work. Creep Wave coming in, the respawns are coming up, but so are his teammates. And he just knows he's very strong. He still has 2 lives, he doesn't have too much to worry about.
Just needs his team to back him up, though.
Lively now. Your admiral is on board.
Gonna get a bit of chip damage, but we'll back off. You did force out a few buybacks there from Omega. The main one being the Storm Spirit, of course, so you can always come back after another team fight and try for that high ground. And what's Prince going for now? He's pretty farmed up. One item on the way, it looks like. It's going to be the Crystallis, so maybe a Daedalus build up. Maybe even the Silver Edge if he really wants, but it does feel like it's going to be a Daedalus. Yep. Makes enough sense.
Choose it up.
It's a bit of a zip onto Young PH, but at the Invis Rune, he was always just fine.
Yeah, and I think the stall out. I mean, Omega still has some good spikes to hit. We talked about Prince a bit. He is racking up the damage. I think the next spike is, again, Van with the disarm is going to be big to hold off the damage from TA. And maybe a sort of Ags built up from Pure can also work out. Gives them more AoE control, which they do lack. Like, they just don't have much in the way of area control outside of Light Strike Array. Maybe you could count Soulbind with Double Roar or the Inkswell to an extent, but it's just not very reliable. Omega will smoke up. They could try to make a play here. They've got Hawk Vision to play around here.
Prince. We're going for the Hawk dive, but ended up cancelling that one off. Omega not quite finding the target they wanted to make the jump on, but they are going to see Young PH down at the bot lane. Scan also out onto the high ground of the triangle. Young PH, though, still going very far forward. He's going to X himself. The Prince is just waiting in the wakes. They make the jump in. Roar out as well. They've got him. That's way too far. For the Kunkka and Omega, I mean, they'll take a pretty big pickup themselves.
Yep, they're staying in the game. They find the Kunkka kill, stalling out YG's progression on the map. YG right now, they're fully kitted up on Hao. This is the point where the TA has to play fast because there's not much room for further itemization in Hero. You could maybe argue for a Hex or a Nullifier next, but you are basically at endgame. So I think for YG, that's the point where you have to make some moves, go for the high ground, go for objectives, because eventually the Monkey King will be able to get more, right? Like the Daedalus is coming true for Prince. He can still sell off the Ecto Saber. He can still kind of upgrade the Maelstrom as well, although...
Yeah, very aggressive blink there, or rather zip there from Piols. He's going to pay for it immediately, and that was a dieback on our store. So a bit of a similar incident to what young PH had down at the bot lane. Both mid laners kind of making that same error as now. So you want to try and force the fight. Earthspike's going to be there on Savan, but Prince is going to bound the strike out. They haven't really got a target as Hal just blinked down and looks to reinitiate back in onto the Beastmaster and Van. He can't even get the roar out in time. Be another hero down with that buyback here for Omega. This should mean high ground for YG.
Opens it up for them. They've got a 40-second window without the Storm, 70-second window without the Beastmaster. That does take a lot of the team fight away of Omega, and their hold is kind of put on the back foot. So YG, I'm gonna play it safe. Shove out mid first, equalize the lanes. They've got their Conquer spawn back in. Young PH will play the bot lane, and they could just kind of hook up after shoving in a bit, getting themselves some advantage here. DD comes out for Hao as well. Does not have a bottle on hand, so not going to be able to stall that one out, but I believe he did buy a bottle out. So he's flying in a bottle for himself to ensure that he's got the DD pocketed up for whenever he could use it. And Roshan might respawn early. We'll see in 5 seconds when that timer will be. If it does stay to tradition, with the DD up, it should respawn soon. Yeah, instant. What? No way.
Yep.
DD into instant Roshan. That's nuts.
Beautiful. Going now onto that Roshan pit. Very, very quick. Aghanim Scepter up now. They will give it over to Hal. Not wanting the Torrent Storm, but rather will take the, I suppose the global presence with the traps is just way better anyway. They do go into it now very confidently here, YG, with a 22-1 TA. Not really too much to be afraid about. Onto the high ground they go. Double damage active as well for House. This tier 3 tower just is not going to last, as Omega apparently are not in the base ready to defend either.
Oh,
Now
no.
to read it down, who have they caught? It's going to be Prince.
No buyback.
No buyback. Imagine that. Onto the tier 3 tower we go.
Oh boy. Without the Monkey King, the defense was way too hard. It's a lot of big damage. Look at how.
Yeah, Zenki about to drop. They'll zip in. Prince getting caught by the spear here. They might go for the tier 4s. Like, never mind, they'll go for the bot lane at Barracks. Now that's Van actually they're beating up right now on that Beastmaster. And, well, he's definitely gone as zip in is there. Pio's going to try and help out. They'll get Lun on that Mars. Pio's still trying. The BKB is going to wear off. And Lun, or rather Hal, he'll just keep going. 4 more, but he forced to back away from Zenki. But they'll get a bottom racks. They still have plenty of time to go get the Megas here for YG. But they'll go for the tier 4s instead. I mean, they realize there's no need to waste their time going for Megas, I don't think. Onto the line we go again. Piols doesn't really have detection though to try and deal with this line, so he will survive through the Orchid. Eventually, I think Hero might just die here as Zorain gets started. Young PH gets the X-Off, still zip in. Piols still trying to kill off Skill Lei. In the meantime, Hal, he'll just keep going after the Ancient, just looking to finish off the game. And this is GG. No defense to come out. Omega, they can't do it. YG will eventually get the 2-0 victory.
Yeah, YG. It looked a bit rocky in game 1, looking a lot better in game 2. They had a bit of a slower start in lanes, but they hold out, build up on Hao, and they find some really big kills. I think Omega this time made a couple of noticeable mistakes, getting caught out on Prince and under Storm a couple of times where they shouldn't have been. That kill on the Monkey King before Roshan was a big one, and that was a turnaround for YG to start building up. And past that point, the TA just escalated too fast. Hits the Desolator blink timing, BKB is up, very hard to manage, and the Daedalus came out, so way too much over damage. Omega just couldn't find the angle, and YG does manage to hold out. So unfortunate for Omega, still not finding a full series win. YG now going from 3-2-2 to 4-2-2, sort of cementing their upper bracket start. I'm not sure if that's still something that can change, but it does look like a great time for YG going into the playoffs now.
Certainly so. And with that, we are going to head into our final series. Just got word that Motivate Trust did finish off their grand final, so they are going to be here on time against Army Geniuses. How long of a wait, though? Is it 15 minutes, 20 minutes? Do we know? It's 15 minutes. All right, so 15 minutes from now, we'll be back with our final series of the night between Army Geniuses and Motivate Trust.